Hello, everybody. So glad to be here with you again this week. It's a beautiful day here. It's still a lot of snow in the area, but the sun is shining. There's a little bit of warmth in the air. I'm loving it. I'm loving the sunshine. So, if you're brand new, if this is your first time watching Stories, Treasures, and Tea, a warm welcome to you. I hope you join us each week. Just kick back and enjoy a little bit of chit-chat. I've had lots of subscribers in the last week, maybe, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you very much. I think that I don't know how that all works, but there's so many more subscribers this week, which is great. So, Stories, Treasures, and Tea. We're going to talk about, I think, treasures first. But before I do that, I just want to mention comments. There's lots of comments, which I love. And the one lady, this one sticks in my mind because, as you know, we have a puppy. And it's been quite a challenge with our Lilibet because she is so active. And she seems to be getting more active. What she's doing now is she is chewing on the baseboards and the corners of the wall. Now, I know some people, I looked it up and some suggestions are that maybe she's got anxiety or maybe she's just bored. And it could be that she's bored, but it's so hard to keep her busy. My younger daughter, her boyfriend lives on a farm. So she does go to the farm and she gets to run free there because she can in this one area. I take her on walks here. I do tricks with her. She's very smart. And so if she's bored, I don't know how many activities we can put into that little life of hers. Anyway, we're working on that. But the one comment was this lady, her husband had passed away, and her daughter, one of her daughters, suggested that she get a puppy. And this lady, I'm going to call my subscribers friends. So this friend on our YouTube video, she was reluctant to get a puppy, as I was. I thought I would get a rescued dog, but not puppy. So this friend commented that she did get the puppy, and it was very active, a terrier also. And so now, 6 years later, this little puppy is the love of her life. So that is encouraging to me. It really is. I can't wait for her to be the love of my life. She is already, but she's exhausting. She's exhausting to me. So this week I did go to a thrift shop. As I love to do, and I got a couple of things which I'm going to show you. This one, it is a beautiful little pink candy dish, and I just love the little bow. I got a couple of other things with bows, and I just thought this would be so pretty for Easter coming up. So that's why I got that one, and I think that one was $1.99. It was $1.99, and it's such a pretty little thing. I love it for Easter. So the other thing I got was not in a thrift shop. It was in HomeSense. And I just walked in the door there, which I do love going to HomeSense. I just think it brings up the mood. I went into HomeSense and I saw this. I hope I can show you. It's kind of big. A watering can. And it really screams spring. But I looked for a bigger watering can last year. I looked in like Canadian Tire and Home Depot. I couldn't find one. I don't know if it was too late in the season. I could not find the bigger ones. I could find smaller ones for indoor plants, but that one I was so glad to see it, and I got it. So the other treasure was not from a thrift shop, and it was not from a store, but it is a treasure to me. Because this time of the year, almost St. Patrick's Day, I think of my mother and my sister, which I'll tell you about shortly. But this dish was my mother's. My mother was born in Ireland, and I have visited Ireland a couple of times, and this dish is old. It's hard to shine up now, but I remember candies in this dish from my childhood. So that is truly a treasure from my mother. So the stories I want to talk about include my mother and my sister, and I will get to them. But before I do, I want to talk about my tea. So as you know, my daughter and I have a tea business. It's called Tea Amo, and I talk about the teas that we have. Heather, my daughter, was a special guest on Stories, Treasures, and Tea because she's a tea sommelier. And you can go online and order our tea. But if you don't want to, it's not a problem. Still, I want you to join me. I want you to have comments about puppies or tea or personal things like end of relationships, all those things. But today, because it's almost St. Patrick's Day, I have an Irish breakfast tea. And I have it in an Irish cup, which is full of little shamrocks, but also it's made in Ireland, which is a little more uncommon. Usually the china is English, but this is made in Ireland, so it is a treasure. And this is just Irish breakfast. I love Irish breakfast. It's a stronger tea. You can probably see that it's a darker color. It is a stronger tea, which I love. But I want to tell you a couple of things about tea, because I heard a lady on YouTube talking about tea. She is a nutritionist, and her name is Annette Reader. That's her name, Annette Reader. She is a nutritionist, but she's also an author. And she was talking about the health benefits of tea.
I want to start off with why tea matters to your health, why it matters, why it can scare cancer away, why it can create such a strong immune system in your body, even stronger than your resveratrol or your vitamin C. This is very important for us to understand. So move aside coffee and move aside cola drinks, because tea is #1 in the beverage for fighting cancer. Actually, it's higher than most foods. So here's the reason why. There are over 1,300 human studies showing how tea reduces cancer. It actually increases heart health. It actually improves your metabolism. So, hey, let's just not only reduce cancer, but improve our metabolism at the same time. And it also, this is very important, it also helps to improve the health of your liver. So when our liver is healthy, our skin glows, our hair is shiny, we feel good. When the tea effects affect our body, we have less cancer risk, and this is a huge benefit. And it tastes good. So that's another benefit.
And another tea that I heard about benefits of, people were talking about sometimes green tea can help cut fat or that sort of thing. And then this other couple of content creators said, forget about the green tea, drink oolong tea. So we have 3 different oolong teas, and I am doing this oolong challenge because according to these content creators, oolong tea can help you to lose weight. I would love to lose 10 to 15 pounds, maybe more. And not because of how I look, but my legs get sore, my knees get sore. I need to lose some weight for health. So I'm going to try the oolong. I like the taste of it. I'm going to try to drink 2 cups of oolong tea a day. And our teas are more pure because they're loose leaf teas. And speaking of that, a lot of times people buy tea from the grocery store. I do too. But if you buy the loose leaf tea, you can also buy these little tea bags. So you can put your loose leaf tea into this little tea bag because it's a higher quality tea than what you might buy at the grocery store. So you just sort of, about half fill that tea bag. You close it up, and these are non-bleached. You put it in your cup, steep it for as long as you like. So these are a pretty good price. Now I know when you order from us, I think we can only ship in Canada, and I think it's $12 shipping. So I know it's more reasonable at the grocery store, but you get a higher quality tea. So that's your choice. But I am going to try this oolong tea challenge, I call it. I'm challenging myself. I'm going to drink it twice a day, oolong tea, which is easy for me. And I'm going to do that for a month. And I'm going to let you know if there was any change. I'm going to try to stay to the same diet that I've been doing, which is not a diet. I mean, just my regular eating habits. So in a month, I'll let you know if I noticed any change from drinking the oolong tea. To tell you the truth, I have been drinking it for 3 days now, and so far I've gained 1 pound. So I hope that improves, but we'll see. So this time of the year is always special to me, and it's emotional because at this time of the year, my mother passed away. So it was many years ago, but she was in the hospital at this date, and I remember because St. Patrick's Day was approaching and she was Irish. When she was in the hospital, she had a big pin on that said, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." And the doctors thought that was adorable, and it was. But the interesting thing is, my mother passed away on March 20th. She was 74 years old. My oldest sister passed away on March 20th. She was 74 years old. So it was a very strange thing, but it's an emotional time for us. And my mother had the pin on when she was in the hospital that said, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." And my sister, she had her son came to visit. And when he came to visit her in the hospital, which we were all around there was a band, like a musical band in the lobby of the hospital. And they were playing music. And he asked the people in that band if they would consider going up to his mother's room and playing some Irish music. And they did that. And he also, I get emotional. He also arranged to have delivered to the room corned beef and cabbage, traditional Irish St. Patrick's Day meal. So there was a party in that hospital room for my sister, and it was a beautiful thing. So another story is this. My older daughter, Jessica, and her husband, Josh, they don't have children. They've been married for just over 5 years, but they do have 2 cats, and their cats are like their children. Their cats are Kimoon and Kofi. And interestingly, Kimoon is a tea. I think it's a Chinese black tea, which we also have. And Kofi, she named Kofi because Jessica went to Africa Jessica is a very interesting young woman. She is interested in everything. She has written 2, maybe 3 novels that aren't published, but she's got published short stories, but she writes sort of a different genre than I might normally read. She writes like horror stories. She writes apocalyptic kind of stories. So she's very interesting person. But when she went to Africa, it was part of her university studies. It was part of the thesis, and she was working with women and empowerment. It was a great thing that she did. I was worried the whole time she was there because she was in remote villages. Much of the time, there was no communication with her because she couldn't. Power would go off regularly. That was part of what happened. She had goats close by walking with her. She showered with buckets of water. Very remote kind of village. She loved it. But she learned there that in Ghana, which is where she was, that, I hope I get this right, but when a baby is born, depending on what day they're born, and if they're male or female, they have a certain name. So for example, a male born on a Friday would be Kofi. And Jessica's cat was born on a Friday and is male, so he is Kofi. And speaking of Kofi, Jessica sent me a video that was Kofi watching one of my videos.
Who's that, buddy? That's Lilibet.
By the way, this is Lilibet. She is wild today. She's got her beautiful little collar on. She's a little bit wild, but she can't help it. She might even be teething. I'm not sure. She's 8 months old. What do you think? Oh, there's a hug. There's a hug for me. Look at that. What a good girl. Lilibet, can you give me a kiss? Can you give me a kiss? Okay, no kisses. That's almost a bite. Okay, so that's about all we've got for today. I hope you have a nice St. Patrick's Day, if that's what you celebrate. I know many people celebrate St. Patrick's Day in some way or another. I hope you come back next week. If you can, I would love to have you here. And until then, have a pleasant week. Enjoy the spring weather coming up, if that's what's happening for you. And I'll see you then. Bye.
What are you doing up there on the mountain? Well, what are you doing? You're silly. Come on down carefully. Come on. Come on down here. You're like a mountain goat.